Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Here I am, having a nice dry spin. This one, I want to make a little video about, I don't do many, like, I've never done like bike reviews or anything like that really. I've just tended to ride my bike and waffle, right? So there are, as you can see, the bike I'm riding at the moment is a GS500 twin 500E, and I just wanted to like come for a spin on it, make a little vlog with it, and pull in and have a chat and tell you a bit about it and then ride home basically. Nothing special, but if you're looking for some bike content and you like the GS500 and you like cafe racer style bikes, then you might like it. So grab a cup of coffee while the intro's going, and I'm going to park up in the harbour now, in Buryport Harbour, and have a bit of a walk around. I absolutely love this bike. I've fallen in love with it. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, and I'm gonna, oh yeah, what should we do? We'll pull in by here, look. Oh no, I'll tell you what, we'll go a bit further on because there's a nicer view. Even though, you've got a choice, boys. You've got the bay or boats. It's a bit muddy in the dock, so we'll go around by the bay. I think it's a better view, doing it. Is there a bit of peace? I don't like talking on camera around people, like, I don't like people. It certainly is a nice view, and I think we can maybe at the back here, oh, a bit of off-road, look. Oh, potholes, not too bad. I'll just go here because people walk along the edge here and I don't want to be disturbed or anything. Come on. I'll tell you one thing, reviewing this bike, perhaps it's just mine, I don't know, but she's a nightmare to find neutral. I always have to have about 3 or 4 goes at it. So anyway, but apart from that, this is my GS500. She's had the tail cut off, so I want to just like show it to you. There's a cheapy Chinese Akrapovich on there, which is going to come off soon. So I'm going to talk to you just like basically what how I came about to have this bike and why. I was actually for years, after doing my test years ago, back in 2006, I always felt like a bit of nostalgia towards, I learned on an ER5, the Kawasaki ER5, 500 parallel twin, but I think they're like water cooled. So and as the years gone by and I'm on the bigger bikes, I sort of still had a hankering, had a bit of a nostalgia towards, oh, that was fun on the 500 twin one, and they would be good for like round town, back for work, things like that, just commuting, like, you know. So for years I've had like an eBay saved thing where any ER5s or CB500s that were available would get notification for, and for years I was always looking, and they're always like quite expensive, and for what they were asking, they were a heap of crap. They were a rust bucket, like neglected, destroyed, not looked after at all. So I never really sort of bothered sort of find it. Well, I just didn't find one that was the right price, right mileage, half decent, that I could add something at least to work with. I don't mind doing a bit of TLC to a bike, like, but so I sort of like forgot about it really. I was like, oh, there aren't any about. And I'd seen my neighbour with this bike, and I didn't know what it was. I wasn't aware that there was another 500 twin, air-cooled, which is the Suzuki GS500. So it was just one of these bikes that had sort of like skipped me by. So, long story short, I kept seeing my neighbour with this bike now and again, and whenever I pop in his garage, I could see him sort of working on it, but I didn't really take much notice as to what the bike was. And he came over not so long back, and he was like chatting about bikes and looking at my bike and stuff, and he goes, oh, I'm thinking of giving it up, to be honest with you. I don't ride it enough, I'm going to sell it and all that. And it had no MOT on it, and he only wanted, well, silly money for it. He only wanted like, you wouldn't, for the money he wanted, right, you would not find even some parts elsewhere, right, let alone a running bike. But I was taking a bit of a risk, because there was no MOT on it. But I did the deal. She flew through MOT. Couple of things I've done on her. Changed. They did have a Puig screen on, which I thought looked like, I'll probably put a picture in the description. I thought it looked like the Alien Queen from the Alien films. No, the head of the Alien Queen. And I was like, but not only that, it used to reflect in the night, and it used to bounce. Even though it was sturdy and bolted on well, I just didn't like it, and I actually prefer the look of just retro. I might try and put some sort of colour, or I did have the thought of change the seat to a nicer leather and matching leather covers for this, but I might be in a bit, I don't know, I might be being a bit over the top then, with trying to go too tarty, where it's not that sort of look on the bike, is it? It looks quite sort of rough and ready. So I'm loving the bike. I've been riding it back and forth to work and round town. It's perfect, because all my other bikes are like quite big. They're like 800s. Whilst I get on with them, I am a small guy. I'm like 5'5.5", and I'm about 12 stone. So it's like, on a big bike I can ride them, I enjoy riding them, but you know, when you're just riding to work, 5 minutes I live from work, this makes so much sense. I always jump on this. So he's done all the work to it, of like he's made it like what would you say, it's like a tasteful cafe racer. It's not over the top. It did have mirrors coming out of here. I didn't like them, they used to rattle, so I've just bought some Chinese cheap ones. I dropped it as I was putting it on. I dropped it and cracked the mirror. So it's one of those things, isn't it? It's what happens when you're working on your own bike. You always have your upsets, so he's wrapped the exhausts. There was a bit of an issue with the leak of the joint, but I've sealed it up for now. But I do want to change the exhaust anyway at some point. I got a few ideas of what I want to do. I want to change, he's put like gauze on here, and I want to change that to like a grill that's better, that looks a bit, it's stainless steel gauze for like radiator grills. I've got a bit of that lying around, so I'm going to fabricate something in the garage, and that's one of the things I was going to do on the channel now. I was going to have some, like, when we're doing some projects or whatever, I'm going to live stream them. So you can see almost how not to do it, because they're not going to be how to do videos, they're going to be how not to do videos, maybe, or at least, you know, we can have a laugh from all my mistakes and enjoy when I get something right done, so yeah, this is the bike. I literally paid next to nothing for it, right? It was really good deal he gave me, and the mileage is 16,000 miles. That's all it's got on it. It's a 2000 W plate, so I think that's 2000 plate, or maybe, yeah, 2000. Yeah, it wouldn't be 2003, would it? I think it's 2000. It's the EY. It was, but I'm absolutely loving it. He's put like heat resistant paint on it, and I've ridden it through winter all back and forth to work, and I haven't even washed it once, and nothing, okay, it's pretty good considering it hasn't had a wash once. It's just got a like a layer of dust and sand, and I've just ridden in here with it, so nothing seems to stick to it that much. It's good. Could do with a set of discs. Back disc needs, it added an advisory. It's a bit scored, so I'm going to change that soon. Ready for the summer. I'll probably do the front disc the same because it does look as if it's having. I'll probably change discs and pads before the spring. But I absolutely love it. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's not the perfect bike. It's not for everything. Like, you wouldn't want to be all day on the motorway on it. But it goes anywhere and does anything. It's like, I would like to turn her into, away from the cafe racer, which I don't mind them, but I prefer a scrambler look. And looking at what I've got here, it's like it wouldn't take much, but there's a bit of a problem. The handlebars, they did a model that didn't have adjustable forks and they had a straight bars. Now that would be better from a scramble, to make it into a scrambler point of view, but it's not just about changing the yoke, because when you put the straight bars on, you've got to raise them or bring them away from the adjusters on the forks here. So that's something, I don't know if anybody out there, because there is obviously a big following for these bikes as well, which I've discovered now. Since I've discovered the bike and bought one, I've realised, oh, there's actually, I suppose with a lot of bikes you get this with, but there is a lot of followers of these Suzuki GS500 twins, because they are a go-to bike for, because they're air cooled and they're quite easy to work on. A lot of people are converting them into cafe racer builds and scrambler builds. Now this one's already been started into a cafe racer, but I'm thinking I wouldn't mind doing a scrambler build with this, because I fancy having a bit of a scrambler. Is like, not as a poser though, something that can actually do a little bit of like rough riding. Not stupid off-road. No scrambler can do proper off-road, but they'll do gravel roads or unpaved roads, like, innit? So yeah, right, well, I've made a fool of myself enough now, standing here talking to myself. Let's get out there. So yeah, I want to just let you know that this is one of my bikes. I say one of my bikes because there's going to be... She sounds lovely. I just love this bike. I love this bike. Yeah, but it is one of my bikes. There are a few. There's a story with each one of them, so I'm going to introduce them, because this is like catching up from where we were when I was doing the rugby channel, and things have changed a bit since then. So the size of these the size of these potholes. There we go. Pick your line. Oh, it's nice though, not too much wind. It's nice today. Still, well, it's a bit of a cold breeze, but it's nowhere near what it normally is and what it can be. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this bike because it is so easy to ride around like small areas and through town and getting through traffic. It's so small and light, and the parallel twin is just lumpy. It's like I need to sort the chain out though. Excuse me, chain needs a lube. Probably needs replacing, to be honest. So I'll probably do it the same time as the discs and pads get done. May as well, innit? Change all fluid and everything like that. But the noise on her is beautiful. I don't think, well, apart from learning, I've never really ridden much parallel twins. I've always heard them. I've quite enjoyed the noise of them, especially the big ones. I find them quite nice. It gets a bit buzzy in the rev range, but this thing, You know when you go on like air roads and stuff like that, when I first started it, I was going on air roads with friends of mine, and it was like I could ride just as fast as them, and they were on, like, they couldn't shake me. This thing, what people don't realise about it, my experience is, I don't think people realise how well these things handle. I don't think they realise how well they handle, in that you can have some really good corner speed with these. See, this is where this bike comes into its own, where it just go in and out, nip in and out of traffic so easy. Even like speed bumps and stuff like that, it's far easier to ride through little towns and stuff like this. And fuel economy, it's crazy. I've never, I know it's a smaller engine and everything like that, but it just sips petrol. So yeah, that's my sort of, like, I've owned this bike now. I've been riding it for about 6 months on and off. And I am absolutely thrilled with it. And I think this is one of the things that I'm finding, that, you know, the older bikes, nobody wanted them anymore. They've all moved on to these newer bikes with the ABS, and don't get me wrong, I'm not against ABS or fuel injection or anything like that. Not against any of that. I've got some bikes that have got it, or some of it, and I feel the benefit of it. But there is something about when you come back to the old school stuff, and I think it's, apart from the fuel with the E5 issue, the pliers I just had to swerve now. There was a boat earlier on. There's some van losing everything out the back of his truck, and I'm following him. Must be. Yeah, I think these age of bikes, because you've got, like, in London, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, regarding ULEZ and all that, right? But I know, like, a lot of people now, they're changing bikes, they're getting rid of the older bikes because of the ULEZ or whatever, or just they're going for newer bikes basically. And the older bikes, you know, there's nothing wrong with them, and if they're maintained well, or had a sort of, well, you could do like a full-on rebuild, which what I myself and a few others, friends, have been doing in my garage. You'd be surprised how new the bike feels. You get that new bike feel when you go through and do your seals, your fork seals and your fork oil and all this, and your brakes. If you give them a service, it feels like a new bike again. That is what the new bike feel is, in my opinion. Is that's all you're feeling with a new bike, is because it's got new brakes and new fork oil. You could do that to any bike and make it feel new, you know. And I think is the value of it as well. I think the price of these bikes is only going to go up. So yeah, I just thought I'd make as my first little contribution to being back as the Scarlet Pimpernel. And there's going to be, just to let you know, there's going to be a fair bit of content. I'm looking to set up, certainly filming. We've got a couple of projects on the go at the moment. There's a group of us, right? And funny enough, a few of us, we started this WhatsApp group because we all met in that harbour, Buryport Harbour. Started off with 2 guys. They added me. Long story short, we'll probably go into this on like a live stream where we'll have a chat and a coffee. But yeah, we're looking to make a lot more content now together. I got a few boys with different bikes that we're gonna go for ride outs together. I'm gonna do a bit of travelling on the bike and cover it, filming. So just bear with me though, because I haven't filmed or nothing like that or edited for ages, so things might be a bit scruffy and a bit jerky when I get back in the swing of things, I go. Because I've got a few sort of other things that I want to reveal as we go. I wasn't going to do it all in one video though. I was trying to separate it into bite-sized bits, like. But a lot happened last year that I want to make some sort of videos of to catch up, because it is relevant to what's about to happen project-wise in the garage. So we're going to be making some garage videos, workshop videos. Like I said, they're not going to be how-tos, because well, some of us are mechanics and some of us are engineers, and between us all we get by, we share each other's information, right? But we're not making these videos to tell anybody what to do. We're just filming our ups and downs for you to be part of, to enjoy if you so wish. So and we would love it if you did. We have got to come up with a name for the channel because it needs to change, but for now obviously it's just the channel that it is, the Scarlet Pimpernel, which is just my general motor vlogging channel. Like I said in a previous video, I'll probably start doing a little bit of I don't know, like a bit of watch along, football, rugby, whatever as well. But the main bit of content, and I'll see how it goes with the motorcycle, where I will look to separate it all out at some point, where there'll be separate channels, where one will be for rugby, one will be for football. I've already got them set up. I know the name for the other two. Scarlet Fever TV, obviously, for the Scarlets and rugby. And then I've got Fever Pitch TV, Fever Pitch Football. It's made that it's ready there, but I haven't started uploading to it. But for now, I was probably, if I do some football, I'm just going to put it on here for now, on this channel, because that's where everybody is, until I figure out what everybody wants to watch and what I want to do as well, because it's not just about pleasing everybody else. Like, I gotta be happy in what I'm doing myself, like that. So we're gonna filter through now and get back home. Feel free to check out any of my other videos and keep an eye out. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell, so that as we're releasing these videos and live streams, there's also hopefully a bit of a podcast we're going to set up as well, where it's just like random boys having a chat over the coffee, as you do. And if there's anything like you want us to talk about or cover about this bike, or anything you see in, just drop a comment in and we'll include them. We'll make a note of them and we'll look to use it in our content moving forward then as well. I'm going to catch you all later anyway. Enjoy the outro, the retro outro, which will probably stay, providing copyright don't get the better of me. But they didn't get the copyright better for what's the name that did it though, did they? 50 Cent, wasn't it? And Dre. They used it first and nobody copyrighted them, and they didn't make that music, did they? They stole it. Come at Leslie and tell me otherwise. Right, I'm going. I've had enough before I go into a rant or something about something and I'll regret it. Take care boys, catch you in the next one. Ta-da.